So, life wasn't always like this. But for this story to make sense, we got to rewind a little bit. Let's go back to when I was 18. I was 18. It was December of 2023. My dad had an aneurysm, and I went into a downward spiral. He went into the ER. They called me, and I got to see my dad on the stretcher tell me that he loves me and that he's proud of me, which was everything I ever wanted to hear from my father that I never did. He told me to take care of my brother and that he loved me. For context, my dad never really told me he loved me and never told me he was proud of me. It took him almost dying for me to get that validation. So a part of me felt broken. And he was in the hospital for a fat minute. So I was working, overworking myself to distract my brain, going out with my homies and trying just to drink and find a vibe to get myself out of there. I had to just figure out my way. He was in there for at least a month or two. Life was just fucking sporadic. I didn't know who I was. I was losing my purpose and just relying on substances and the homies to figure out a way. Not shortly after, my dad got out and I was fired. And the kicker was, I was fired by my stepdad. Not because of how good I worked, but because I got into an argument with my mom. Me and my mom don't get along very well. We never have, and I don't think we ever will. We don't even speak anymore. But me and her got into an argument, whatever. I was fired, and I was, at that time, supporting my father because he was not working. So my life felt like an all-time low. And this isn't a sob story, by the way. This is just me saying my story because I guess I want to tell the world what it was from ages 18 to 20. This is just my life, and I'm taking y'all through my fucking life. So I get fired. I'm no longer allowed to see my siblings after that. I have 4 little brothers, for anybody that doesn't know. And I'm still not allowed to see my little brothers. So within a 2-month period, my father almost dies. I get fired from my job. And I'm not allowed to see my siblings, which is my reason for living. This was an all-time low for me. This was a time in my life where I didn't know what the fuck my purpose was or what I was even doing on this earth, or if I even wanted to be on this earth. It was something I was highly contemplating, if you catch my drift. I started losing friends and just crashing out, not being the best person, very much so just an asshole. Didn't know what the fuck I was finna do with my life. I really didn't. Luckily, I got a job, thanks to my cousin. Worked a job at this little fucking Ocean Grill. It kind of sucked, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but it paid my bills. It was enough for me to get by, help my family where it was needed. And yeah, life at this point, I was just fucking going through it and just letting life be. Luckily, a few months later, my best friend at the time asked me to move in with him. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, I need a change. I need to switch something up. Because if life continued the way it was, I wouldn't have lived it. My buddy asked me to move in. I also got offered to work at a company called Raw. For anyone that doesn't know, it's a little gym brand. Very grateful that I got in there. My cousin offered me that job, and then I started working 2 jobs and mentally killing myself with it. It wasn't the best experience, but I felt like I was doing something, and it kind of, what's the word? It broadened my scope of what the world really was. Like, there's a lot of different people there, and it just truly changed my perspective on life a little bit. But then I got overwhelmed with working 2 jobs. I was working hella just to get the bills paid, and it sucked. Like, I was always broke and whatever. Luckily, I got a raise at Raw, and I quit my other job. And then for a month or two, I thought I was fine financially, but my bills started to like, I just realized I wasn't making as much as what I thought I was going to be making. So I had to pick up another second job. I worked with my roommate at a little restaurant, and that also sucked. For anyone that's worked two jobs, it's not fun. I do not recommend it. But worked up there, whatever, stacked up money, and then I started having a bunch of like car problems. Wait, no. I worked there for a few months. Then I quit because I can't do two jobs, right? Like once you're pushing the 65, 70 hours a week of working, it's just mental health is just non-existent. Like you're just killing yourself. But whatever. I'm doing that. But while working both of those two jobs, bro, like I don't think I was ever relying on substances as much as I was. And I was just, bro, I don't know how I'm still here, to be honest with y'all. Like, I'm thinking back on it now, like, it was just something. Like, I was just fucking hungry to live, I guess. I was hungry for my purpose, but I didn't know what my purpose was. Like, I've always, since I was like 16, wanted to do content. And I've known I've wanted to do content, but the hunger wasn't really there. It was just an idea of like, oh yeah, I want to be an influencer. And now as I've grown up, thankfully, that's not my fucking mindset at all. But I guess that was like the only thing like projecting me forward, because I didn't have any family. I just had my roommate. Like it was literally, I would come home, I would have nobody, but my roommate would come home and he would be my source of hope. Like I would just fucking sit and wait for him to come home sometimes. I know that sounds like sad, but I'd come home, wait for him, and just yap with him. And that was my little light of joy that everything was finna be okay, that like there was someone in the world that cared about me, and it was him. It was my fucking roommate. I thank the Lord every day that he's in my life, because that motherfucker's my brother. That motherfucker has saved me and fucking through so much shit. And I quit there. I lived with him for a little bit, and my car started fucking up heavily. Like one thing would get broken, then another, then I get a nail, then I get another nail. Like I thought life was just fucking out to get me. There was a night I had to like stay with my cousin because I couldn't get back home. Like I just couldn't figure out a way to get to fucking work to afford it. And at this point, I'm just like, life's just beating me up again. Like I'm probably, I want to say I was maybe 19 at this time. So a little time has passed from 18 to 19. But I probably just turned around 19 and my car starts fucking up again, and everything is like It was different because this was a financial issue. The other thing was all like with my dad and my mom and my siblings. That was all very emotional to me, and I just was like, you're being a little bitch. Like, just get over it. Like, you can control it. Like, you can still get your shit done. And I was able to push through it because of that, I guess, and having the support system of my best friend, Jared, like my roommate at that time, like my brother. So I was able to get through with that. But this next thing was financial, of like the car issues. I couldn't financially afford it. And I didn't have anybody to ask or help me. So it kind of just fucking sucked. I had to thug it out. I went back and I begged my dad for my first car. Luckily, he let me have it, but that car also had issues. So with like a month or two of borrowing rides from people to work, I eventually got my like original car back and started taking that to work, and that fucked up and a bunch of shit happened, right? Luckily, my grandparents gifted me a car. I'm not gonna lie, they did. I'm very grateful for that, because if not, I probably would have had to quit my job at Raw and work somewhere close to home, because I had no way of getting there. I was overusing my rides and pushing the limits on that. And before I got the car, right, I was highly debating on quitting and getting some shitty job in my little ass town and not knowing what the fuck I was gonna do with my life. But luckily, against all odds, I got the car. And I was like, all right, shit, like life's turning up, life's gonna be good, and shit's gonna be fine. Like I was like, all right, whatever. And then my roommate, like I was telling all my best friend, my only person I truly felt a bond with. Me and him had plans to make content, like do this shit seriously, like take it for real, do like everything. Like this is what I put my whole entire purpose in, like this plan of us doing that, right? He tells me that he wants to go to the service, like the Army or the Marines, and it crushed me. I was like, this was my whole entire purpose for living, was to do this with him, and he's gonna leave me for 4 years. Like, is that selfish of me to think like that? Probably. I won't lie, like 100% selfish. But at that point, I got depressed. I didn't know who I was anymore. I lost my whole entire sense of being, of what the fuck am I on this earth for? It was supposed to be for this person, and now that they're leaving me, what the fuck am I finna do with my life? So he told me that. I got depressed. I lost my purpose. Me and him started falling out, like not necessarily bad blood, but just disconnecting our closeness, not talking to me. He wouldn't like talk to me as much, and we kind of just fell out, and I lost the only person I had in my life. So whatever. I moved out like 2 weeks later after that, and I went to go live with my dad for 2-3 weeks. And the whole time I was there, I wanted to kill myself. I was having to call people 24/7. I couldn't leave myself alone. I was going and hanging out with people because if I stayed alone, that I would have taken my own life. And sorry, that's not easy to say. I didn't know what the fuck I was finna do. I truly didn't know what the fuck my life was, or what the fuck my purpose was, and what my purpose for living was. I told myself I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna try not to cry. But I just prayed. I would pray every night that God would just give me my purpose, that God would just give me a reason to live. And 2 weeks later, I moved into the home you see now. I was alone, which I don't know if that made my mental any better, because I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I was like, I live alone, I'm doing nothing. And my depression was just not there. I was very upset with my life and not satisfied, even though I was 19 at the time and living alone, which is supposed to be a big accomplishment. But to me, I felt like I just lost my whole world. Like within 2 years, I've lost my mom, I've lost my stepdad, I lost my connection with my father, I lost all my friends, I lost my little brothers because I'm not allowed to see them because of the falling out with my mother, and then I just lost my best friend. I pretty much had nobody. Like, I had a few work buddies, but not tight enough to say that it was everybody. So I moved here. I got a promotion at work. So financially, that helped me a little bit to where I wasn't as stressed financially. For the first few weeks of living here, I really tried to just discover who the fuck I was, of what is my purpose of being on this earth. Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? And to be honest with you, I didn't know. I didn't know why I was living. I don't know why I was even going through it, of what the fuck am I on this earth for? I didn't know until about 2 months ago. I really started praying. And I mean like praying like gospel music to work every day, praying at work every day, trying to just figure out, like, God, guide me. What is it for me? Why do you have me doing what I'm doing? Why am I here? Like, what? I know you have a purpose for me. What is it? And eventually it kind of just clicked. I know that sounds weird, but it just did. I just decided that I've been posting content for the past 4 years since I was 16 and kind of not taking it seriously, that I was like, fuck it. I was like, I want to be behind a camera. I was like, I really do. my buddy gifted me a camera and I started taking it seriously a little bit, and I sucked. I fucking sucked. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I still suck. I'm getting decent, but I still fucking suck. But I realized that I really like, what is the word? Cinematography. I really like making videos. I really like documenting my life. I really like making videos, and I really like editing. Like, it's the only things that I enjoy right now at this time. So I decided that I really wanted to learn how to do that, and it has completely changed my life. It is now the only thing I look forward to. I look forward to coming home and making dumb little YouTube videos or dumb little edits, and it's that right there opened up so many openings. Like, I have a buddy, his roommate's a director, and it just, I took a very much so role model from him. Like, he's fucking doing exactly what I want to do with my life. And it just gave me hope that it's possible. Like, I really can do whatever the fuck I want to do, and someone is doing what the fuck I want to do, and they're in my circle. I think that's what changed the most for me. Was I went from having nothing to having a circle of people that I feel like truly care about me. Like, they truly care about me and want to see me succeed and are willing to help me and be there for me. And I think that really made me change of like, oh shit, people actually can care about you, and people can actually be there for you and want to see you win. I feel like that's not something I was very familiar with, and it still doesn't necessarily feel real. Like, I feel like something's wrong, but I just have to accept that people can just be good people. I never really had good people in my life, and at this moment I do. But I think that's what changed. Was I really decided that, like, this is my passion and that I want to go all in, and I have the circle of people around me that would like to help me and see the vision in me and telling me that it's okay to go chase this and do this, and truly backing me. That support has made me realize that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. Is I want to be vulnerable behind the camera. I want to be able to go on here and tell y'all my story. And I got as vulnerable as I can. This is my first time like actually opening up behind a camera. So I left a lot of shit out. But I don't know. I didn't want to like get too much in the details and it'd be like a little sob story. But I guess my message, because this is from me 18 to 20, this is my story. You got to push through. Like, I've went through a lot of shit in my life, and should I realistically be here? No. But am I glad I am? Yes. And is it going to pay out in the long run? Yes. Like, every bad thing I just told you, yeah, it fucking sucks. But these past few months, I've learned so much shit and actually gained a passion and a will for life that it makes me feel like all that bad shit that happened to me is worth it. And it's okay to keep pushing forward. You know, like, your story's not over. Just because a lot of bad shit's happening, sometimes you're in the shits and you can't see anything but the shit. And once you get out of the shits, life can just become a little bit more happy than what you think it can. And that's what I think, guys. My life is finna change so much. And my last thing is keep God close. Keep God close, bro. I truly don't believe that I would be here without God. I think praying and seeing Him change my life so much in such a short period of time has completely altered how I look at religion. Like, I used to not be the biggest religion person. Like, I used to believe in God, but not truly want a relationship to be close with Him. But the more I've chased a relationship with God, the more I've seen my life change for the better, and things start to line up to make sense. But that's my story. I hope you liked it.